Hey, ladies and gents, I just wanted to hop on real quick before you hear this Easter message, um, just to clarify some things. So inside of it, I talk about sacrifice. I talk about BDSM. Um, that acronym. I just want to read it to y'all so that you know, because some people don't. And again, we don't study sex, so there's certain things we don't know. And this is going to be short, so that y'all can get into this. Message because it's a goodie. We'll say message, podcast episode, however you want to look at it, right? So BDSM, bondage, discipline. Now they overlap. So the BD part, bondage and discipline. The DS part, domination and submission. So that's what I was talking about as far as the D and the S, meaning domination and submission. Again, in your marriage, you've got to realize somebody is taking the lead and it's not always the man. And sometimes somebody is being submissive and it's not always the woman. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. See, we have to, again, because of sexism, much like with racism, you have an improper view of yourself as man and an improper view of yourself as woman. And you can't teach your kids right. You can't learn yourself right until you start diving into these subjects and learning them. Okay? I get it. Y'all want to go tying each other up and beating each other with whatever, or leaving marks on each other and stuff. I understand, okay, but that is not to say, again, we're talking from a scientific basis, that there are not certain things on the body. There's pleasure zones on the body, okay, in various places, all right, of the body, trying to keep it as non-colorful as possible. Now again, you don't want to go dealing with it. That's fine. But here's the thing: when your kids go searching out for it, you better have some answers for them. And it ain't like we don't do that over here. Okay, that better be like you don't agree with this, but this is what it is. See, we got to get to the point where we start really explaining a thing, and you got to know it in order to explain it correctly. The SM part deals with sadism and masochism. I'm going to leave it up to y'all to study those two words. Again, one is dealing with pain. Both on a certain level, they're dealing with pain to an extent. And the pleasure from it. Okay, I don't know how else to say it. Y'all can take it for what it is. Okay, some folks like, again, this way. You know, we'll say it this way for a little bit. When you're spanking somebody on the butt, part of that's got to do with sadism, and part of that's got to do with masochism. Oh, KJ, what are you talking about? Come on, man, we just smacking somebody on the booty. Yeah, okay. All right, y'all. Hey, whatever you want to go with, but booty spanking, especially in the bedroom, where you thinking that's coming from, y'all? Just, hey, y'all take it for it. And yeah, we're talking about on Easter because it's dealing with life. Here's another thing when we're talking about Easter. Again, that's part of life, right? Most of your kids come from parents who's in the bedrooms. Never mind. Never mind. Because, see, we can't be honest. This is what I mean. Like, we can't be honest. And as a result of not being honest, guess what you do? You're doing damage and harm to people. So that's just BDSM right there. The other side of Easter is this part everybody keeps getting hung up on, like they do at Christmas and like they do at Halloween, is this, and they're just carrying on a tradition. Now, unfortunately, they've used the Bible, and which is cool, because to each their own what they believe, but they've used the Bible now to go a little too far, okay? like for instance, if I could be so bold about your boy Donald Trump coming out with the Trump Bible, putting the Constitution in it. We don't need to see that mess. you for sure, there won't be a whole lot of black folk buying it, I bet you that. Wait, you mean all the laws that, but KJ, there's the 13th Amendment. Did y'all read the 13th Amendment? It let you know you go back to jail. That's it for you. What do you think all the laws were back then? When they made sure they put black asses in jail, man. Oh man, we just talked to y'all about drapetomania. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think happened when they caught those? How do you think they came up with that phrase? That some psychologist put that on somebody, or excuse me, not somebody, whole groups of people. Wrong, riggedy wrong. Okay, and you got to get that in your psyche that all of that mess is wrong. And we don't support it over here. That's how you got to be, especially if you're talking about change. Especially when we're talking to my Christian brothers and sisters, you want to celebrate Easter. Did you know the Easter Bunny has to do with life? Did you know that? The Easter Bunny deals with life. You can look it right on the line. Started with, let's see here. And all this stuff, guys, you know me. I'm going to go to the source. See, I don't just look at things just superficially. So we're talking about you got a lot of sources to all this. Okay? German Lutherans. Now, for whatever German people want to say, okay, this is the European folks, this is my European brothers and sisters, because you have a conversation, okay? See, again, a lot of infighting going on in Europe. Primarily, England wasn't the only place, though. A whole lot of people, just like in other parts of the world, but we're talking about this because this is where most of this comes from. Because you had to spread it all out to the... See, again, go into all the world and preach. We kind of got that wrong a little bit. You don't force people to accept Christ. You allow them to accept Christ. Two different things. I digress. The Easter Hare by German Lutherans. Okay. The Easter Hare originally played a role of a judge evaluating whether children were good or disobedient in behavior at the start of the season Eastertide. Now remember, during Halloween, and if y'all don't remember, go back, listen to the episode. I talk about the various different tide holidays, especially in Orthodox, what they call Orthodox Christianity. Like, Lord, too many divisions. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all, too many divisions. I don't care. Any one of my brothers and sisters, y'all in the Coptic, y'all in the I don't care. I don't care which one of them they are. We can have that conversation respectfully. Too many divisions in the church. It's all the Bible, y'all. Can we be honest? It's all the Bible. So what do you mean? Baptist, Calvinist, Lutheran, Presbyterian, Protestant, Reformist. What do you? Matter of fact, the Protestants and the Reformists should be cool buddies together. Because they are, one, Protestant. The word protest is there. Why? Because they were protesting the wrong things in the Catholic Church. The Reformation, why is the word reform there? Because it was time to reform things that was going on there. So you got more you got more commonality than you do divisions. But anyway, yeah, Eastertide, different holiday. Okay, just celebrated. It's the same time in a different things that they celebrate, but that's what it is. Okay, guys? Again, drop a lot of this. The Easter egg, dealing with life coming from it. Matter of fact, they would paint the egg and then break the egg. That's a thing that's, and then you'd eat it. This is a thing. Okay? Again, some of this does have German stuff. This has some German origins to it. But again, all dealing with certain things here about what we do, y'all. And the life therein, what we're celebrating. It's about life, guys. Cut out the rest of this mess. See that thing, and that's why during during that Halloween message, I had to speak on the thing. We're not here to keep doing this. Oh, you're bad. Oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're wrong. You're half wrong, right? But no, that's not. This is not it. And I understand for my Christian brothers and sisters going to talk about judgment and how we're just supposed to judge people and all that. Again, if you ain't walking in love with it, you're doing it wrong, man. And when you can look at the totality of history with Christians and humans, yeah, we missed it. And that's all right, because all have sinned. But you can come back again by walking in love. There's a thing about being truthful and being loving and truthful. Two totally different things. So we're not talking about making exception for people to not be responsible with what they do. But we're also not here browbeating folks and calling them less than because of what they're doing. It's not what Jesus did. If that was the case, the woman that was so-called caught in adultery, because again, when you got guys looking around for people who's screwing somebody else's husband, I think maybe you need to be doing something else in your life. However, you didn't see Jesus attack that woman. He defended that woman. When we going to start coming to the defense of people that never mind. Never mind. Them who are without sin cast the first stone. How about that? How about that? Nothing? No answers there on that? This is why we got the problems we got in life, y'all. Because we're too busy doing that garbage. Instead of being busy or setting people free and just enjoying life. So, just a real quick little deal there. Nothing much. And let y'all get into this episode, and we will talk to you soon. Good morning, good morning. A good morning, ladies and gents, to you. In the middle of this Holy Week, as they call it. Of course, in the Christian world, we do realize that while not only the Christian world, lighting some sage in here, I want y'all to know very readily when it comes to things about crystals, as people call it, when it comes to things about scents, when it comes to things about essential oils, I give very, very serious importance to that stuff, guys. And we're going to go over a verse here. Welcome into the Easter episode. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's not really that complicated, to be honest with you. The part that makes it complicated, like many things that we have spoken on this podcast about, is people. People make it complicated. The Creator made it simple, and people have made it complicated. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about how laws are executed in this planet. It doesn't matter whether it's talking about how people deal with each other in this planet, the earth itself, people's relationship to the earth itself. And again, all this still tying into relationships. We're still on that. We haven't gotten off of it yet. Little pathways that you can take, right? Like when you go hiking. You know, you can take that real extreme one. You can take the kind of medium one. You can take the light one. You got different paths, all still hiking. Same thing here, guys. Life's got different little streams and stuff. That's why I like pay attention to Marvel's way of talking about time, which we're going to get into that with time here for a minute. Because, again, we got to stop doing this mess where people mess with time. People mess with time too much. We have messed with time too much. I gotta say it again. We have messed with time too much. See? And now it's turned into something. I don't know how many people I've got to keep hearing them tell me how they're not feeling so well because of the hour change. Y'all, you don't need to do it. But it is done. Since we're there, we'll just start there. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about again this time of year. You know, because we can't focus on the seasons changing. We can't focus on anything but that which deals with making money for the man, y'all. That's how I'm gonna say it. That's how I'm gonna say it. Because again, we're gonna take a cue from our brothers and sisters in the black community that have just literally said it the way it needs to be said. So that's how we're going to say it. Let me see if I brought up this whole thing with time. I might have just looked at it in passing. And I might not have brought it up for the purposes of the podcast, which is fine because it's really not even an issue anymore. Again, this is another one of these things that folks can look up online. And find out for yourself. Again, the Bible talks about taste and see. Did I do it here? Yeah, here we go. Who made daylight savings time? George Hudson. George Hudson. Let's just do this real quick because I'm gonna use a word here that I want y'all to know. See, when you look up, I think I mentioned this about the term drapetomania. The condition, let's see, do I have it here? Yeah, we got it right here. Let's just go back here. Again, according to whoever this is, because it's coming from Massachusetts Historical Society, so you just Google in, type in the word drapetomania, spelled Drapetomania. I went through that whole thing about how old folks used to spell, so people can understand the thing, and it's not a bad thing, y'all. It's good to do. Not everything that we were taught was wrong, y'all. I have to be clear on that, because I know how things go. Words and phrases get twisted. Definitions of words and phrases get twisted, so people can be just downright mean to each other. That's all that, or controlling, or where you're irresponsible. Like this is you know how the game goes, man. okay, to describe the psychological disorder that caused a phenomena of enslaved black people, so-called black people, because again, the term white and black were made up a long time ago, y'all. I wonder sometimes, in order to correct what was done, that maybe, just hear me out, y'all. Hear me out on this one. And I get it, right? Because of greedy evil, people driven by greed and evil, we have what we have today. But understand, the idea is to undo. If you're talking about balance and change, the idea is to undo what was done. And to do that, you have to respect each person's culture as a person and as their own entity and culture all across this planet. That's what's needed. That's what's needed. We need to start learning each other's cultures, of what was hidden, of what was burnt away. We're going to get into, matter of fact, we'll go right here to it, and then we'll pop back to Drapetomania here. Going back into talking about time, okay? Follow along. Follow along. Going back into Easter, by the way. So just follow along. Yee, I like it. So talking about these differences, right? All of a sudden now, you got that war over in Israel. We're going to stay on it, y'all, with this war in Israel, because for as long as people continue to do the division, I'm going to be over here doing the unification. See, there is a difference between separation as people necessary and segregation that they put on people. That was a hellish form in which to control people. That's what segregation was. To separate everyone in the planet, live separately and yet as one community of human beings. I don't know how else to tell it to y'all, but we're going to keep saying it till it hits. Because in history, it's shown it hits. Human history shows that every once in a while people get it. And that pattern repeats. So, there is a difference between segregation and separation. You need to come away from your own people who act like fools. How about that, y'all? That don't mean you don't love your own so-called white brothers and sisters. We're going to have to use certain terms here so people understand. Your so-called black brothers and sisters. In Vogue talked about that in that song, Free Your Mind, y'all. And Lord, if they wasn't right, you got to free your mind. Renew your mind. I'm going to stay on it because I know it's the truth. Everybody who keeps bucking back against it, that means you're hitting something. That means that cannonball hitting that wall, and the walls come tumbling down every time, guys. I'm sorry. Go look at the Berlin Wall. I'll let you know. There's been a bunch of walls built in human history that have come tumbling down. This one's no different. This is the cause and the purpose of this podcast, y'all. Teach, train, and educate. Which one of these things here, we're just going to say it here. Talking about this minister talking about intercultural marriage. I wonder, going back to this point, I wonder if the blending of the races, see, because again, all this has been made up on some garbage to control wealth and resources. That's it. That's all this mess is. Whether it's healthcare resources, whether it's actual monetary resources, whatever backs the dollar, controlling that. That's why you have your issues with everything that affects something on the stock market, y'all. Whenever a commodity and humanity have been introduced and met each other, that thing's gone sideways because people have given into greed more times than not. It's just the truth. Training up a child in the way they should go as to refer to intercultural dating / marriage as leaving the path, that is a lie birthed out of evil and misguided intentions in the highest order. If you so choose to marry inside your culture, you do it. And this is why I say a long time ago, I made the statement that racism has affected everything. Y'all, racism has affected everything, right down to who you chose or possibly are choosing, and if you don't renew your mind, who you will choose to marry. I am sorry, y'all. And this is to those who are in intercultural marriages. Now, let's go a little further deeper than the shallow mess that this minister was saying, because we're just going to say what it is. Each person has the right to believe what they so choose on both sides of a statement, okay? This is no disrespect to that minister or the family, but we're talking about wrong is wrong and where it needs to be addressed. And speaking on Easter and resurrecting from death, it's time we start talking about the things that are dead that you got to resurrect from. Racism is one of them that is avoided because money is involved. Churches don't talk about the impropriety between the races because their charities are involved. Their status in the community. Could you imagine if pastors all across this planet on Easter Sunday, in every language, man, I'm talking about that real, y'all, if they would actually sit there and denounce their governments for being involved in the hurting of God's innocent creation. How do you think that's going down? See, but it's easier to talk about sexuality as superficial. It's easier to talk about even how you treat people to an extent, because you can talk about selfishness and you can talk about, you can start to throw in some of the fancier words like unrighteousness and all that kind of stuff. Guys, we're talking about coming up another level. We have lived in the babyfied state too long, and to each their own, but it's time to come up another level. Walk through the fires that will change you and change your thinking to understand something else that has been there all along, hidden from you. This is real. This isn't this isn't all of the other words they're using to throw you off the path. This is for real. Training up a child in the way they should go. Okay? One, break down these words. You got to train. So you got to have enough knowledge to be able to then train someone. People don't have enough knowledge to be able to train someone. You're always learning. See, again, parents get caught up in too much pride. Lord, I'm going to say. See, we haven't even gotten to that last part yet, y'all, but we're going to say it now. Too much pride. Too much improper pride, if I can say it that way, put where it should not be. Because again, the idea is to learn the knowledge to be able to help someone else. And Lord, if we missed it with the kids, what you think with other people? The people belonging to, quote unquote, belonging to you, we ain't learning nothing about their lives in order to train them correctly. Think about, multiply that now behind all the people you meet in life. There's misinformation all over the place, y'all. Oh, wow. Y'all still stuck on how your mommy and daddy raised you, and that's not to say they didn't do their damnedest, to be most blunt about it, okay? But the real hard look at the thing is that no human, including yourselves, including me, no one is exempt from doing wrong. We've all done wrong, will do wrong, and as a result, we have to continuously study where the wrongs are and fix them. For the sake of being cordial here, I do apologize if I get excited, y'all. Just because of speaking. But again, there's somewhere along the line this thing got to get you. So talking about these differences, right? Talking about these improper differences and where the race is blending probably is way more accepted than this garbage that has now been put in place because of racism so that you can survive and have less problems. We went over that one with this guy talking about this less problems that people have and how changing churches won't fix the problem. You're right, because the sickness is in each Christian. Loving Jesus, running around the church, raising hands, shouting hallelujah, speaking in tongues, and hating on the other brothers from different cultures. Hating on the other sisters from different cultures is just the truth, y'all. And it's time to wake up in boldness. You believe something in this planet. It's time to wake up in boldness and say it. It's affecting everything you do. You don't know the knowledge of certain places where you're supposed to put your money to save money so you don't have to work like a dog every day. Do you know why? Because of racism. You have words like illiteracy and ignorant. The Bible talks about, I wish, brothers, that you be not ignorant. What do you think that? I'm not even going to go into the verse because for most folks on here who are Christian have already heard it. You've grown up in the church house, you've heard it, but you haven't heard it in its proper application because, again, Christians are too scared. You talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We need people, and Daniel and Jesus, and you need people to stand up now. This is, what are we doing? And this is not an attacking people. You talking about the Savior who died for humanity, was a friend to sinners, beggars, the defender of the degenerate. Come on now, man. I'm done on the narrative, y'all. I'm done on the narrative. So here we go. Here we go. This is a thing, talking about Easter, talking about that side of the world, because, you know, they're all evil. See, again, you've had certain things implanted into your mind from the way the story has been told to you, and it was improperly told to you. God is not making people to go killing people. Think it through a little bit, y'all. You telling me God loves me, but it's time to go kill these homosexuals and every other quote unquote deviant over there? I think somebody's been messing with the Bible on a high level. There's conspiracy for you. How about that? A book meant to unify and meant to teach and train people on how to be in life. Again, you've already shown it with the slave Bible. Twisted is, unfortunately, for those who use things that are holy for very nefarious purposes. You showed your hand with that one, by the way. See, again, when they talk about all of this violent garbage, you're hiding behind the fact people need to be passionate in a thing in their life. They need to have drive for something. And many times in this world, it's driven out of you so that you can be a mule for someone else. Yet that's a very dangerous place to be, y'all. You hear this stuff where they're threatening you with the job and, you know, you got to do this, do that, or you won't have no job. Well, which one do you stand on? See, this is very, very, what are we doing? That's why job reform, how the workers are treated at jobs, needs to change all over this planet. Especially here in this nation that is fueled by making money off the backs of someone else. I'm just saying. So here we go about what unifies us. Check this out.
Most Christians don't even know that Jesus spoke Aramaic. Type in language of Jesus Christ. Do it right now on Google. So what was the language? There it pops up. Aramaic. Now the language is a Semitic language. The Semitic languages are Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic. Now,
pause 1 second before we continue on in this. Guys, we need to start getting down. So when they say anti-Semitic, okay, when they say anti-Semitic, I want to say it again. When they keep bringing up the phrase anti-Semitic, be careful in what the person actually said in an article, news article, anywhere you see it. This is the same thing with racism. Now, here is the problem. You're taking holy notions and then twisting them to hide from certain things. Okay, what do I mean by that? There is a respect that you're supposed to have to each culture. Do people disrespect each culture and each belief on the planet? You bet your everything on it. As a result, these words have come out that are a defense, where you're supposed to have things to defend those of which are being hurt. And I'm still waiting for the ones to come up for black folks, but I digress. Again, you have to understand the society in which you live. It is meant to put down groups of people to exalt other groups of people over there. And that is not how life is lived. Life is lived where you share experiences through the people around you. And because we keep playing this hokey pokey dance, 1 foot in on it, 1 foot out, little elbow over here, shaking it all around, we still haven't gotten the point, and we pay the price for it. So now you pay too many high premiums in your healthcare because of the fact that they want to play around with stupid phrases like what came out during Barack Obama's presidential run, which is pre-existing conditions. But nobody fought back. Nobody fought back against that. No, we just, black president, put him in. Now, again, we're talking twisting holy notions. It makes sense for some black people to be running something in this country. Can we see? Oh, Lord in heaven, help me say it. We need to be seeing black people running this thing. We need to be seeing the women and we need to be seeing the youth, because particularly those three groups, amongst others, have been held down in this country from having any really serious say. Don't give me Tyler Perry, Kanye West, Oprah Winfrey, who else? LeBron James, and anybody else in the quote unquote BB group, the black billionaire. Well, let's be, since we like using acronyms for things, the BBM group, the black billionaire and millionaire group. I'm done on that. We're talking whole communities. Now, again, is there a responsibility to the black folks? So, hey, so-called black man and woman, it's time to bond together, build our own communities, make this thing look like what they rejected us from. Okay? Just saying. You keep spending money inside of other communities, and there's nothing wrong with supporting other ones. We're talking about when you're going to support yourself. When you're building your factories. When we're building our warehouses. When we're doing this thing. When are we bringing out that which is most poisonous in this nation? When are we doing it? And we can do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're more connected than you think, y'all. Let's continue.
Now I want you to type this in. Aramaic, word for God, and watch what pops up.
Allah.
Oh, Jesus Christ in his own language called God Ilah. So in Hebrew it's Elohim or Ilah. In Arabic it's Allah. It's a word that's the same in 3 languages.
Pause before we get to the rest of this. I talked about this during the Halloween message, but we're going to keep repeating it because repetition is necessary for learning. See? I say it as a cute catchphrase, but there's a lot of power and meaning behind that, y'all. You got to constantly put your mind in order to get it on the inside. When they talk about illiterate and ignorant, like I was just mentioning that, be not ignorant. I wish that you be not ignorant. When you care about somebody, you want to teach them something, show them something. From what you have learned, from the various places you learn it, teach them something. Ain't nobody doing that today. This is why the whole thing with tithing is so important. Start putting the money in your own storehouse. You are the temple. See, the Bible talks about now how you are the temple of the living God, y'all. Hey, come on now. Come on. So we're going to talk about something Christian here with Easter. Then let's keep it rolling, huh? We're talking about the impropriety in the church because we bought into those who wanted to use Christians and holy notions so they could make money off you. The Bible has a verse clear as day, says they will make you into merchandise. Look it up. They will make merchandise of you. That's how the verse goes. And sure enough, if people ain't the hoe in the street today, you are the merchandise. You're the commodity. Bought and paid for by the blood of innocent people. Worried about sacrifices, the big thing here when you talk about Easter, y'all. We can get past the pagan stuff and fertility and all that kind of thing. Again, y'all want to have a baby? Now's a good time to do it. See, let's be honest. We're talking about resurrection, birth. Stop listening to this garbage they talking about with this pagan mess. Again, are you practicing in those things? No, but is there a very holy thing behind the seasons and the times? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Since I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, right? Oh, here we go. Here's a verse. Here's a verse for y'all talking about birth. In the beginning. See, go back to the beginning, guys. Everybody is trying to do this thing, and this is where this TikTok banning garbage is coming from, and this is where all this is. You platforms that get you to the right place, they don't want that. You can bet your bottom dollar and the top dollar and your middle dollar on the fact that anytime in any society where people trying to get set free over a very dictatorial society, I don't care what they say about this nation, very what are some of the words? What are some of the words from good old motherland England? Not even hierarchical, tyrannical. Again, dictatorial or dictatorial. You got a dictator, you got a king and a queen misusing their power, y'all. This is where we at. This is where we're at, folks. Again, the checks and balances need to get checked a little better and balanced a whole lot more. This is serious. And it takes the men and women of this great country, these great lands, Beautiful lands made. You talk about America the Beautiful. Yeah, that song ought to be ringing over that slave mess they use to the highest mountains in this nation and to the lowest valleys in this nation. Because this is a beautiful land made by a beautiful creator. They're sitting there trying to do stuff as far as getting daylight savings time stricken, which again, when the sun is closest, the earth is tilted farthest. And when the sun is furthest, the earth is tilted closest, y'all. Come on now. That's God doing that. That's the creator. Hey, for whoever believes a certain thing, you got to understand there's a masterful design behind that. It's even studied down to the science of it, the mathematics of it. You can see it. Again, the person that the deity they put in front of you is false, y'all. You talk about no other gods before God. We're going to finish that. We're going to finish that video here in a second. See, we gave the name. We're giving the name to the one above all. It's humans. Your response, sacrifice, I'm not going to get into it for the sake of time here. Sacrifice talks about how you respond. The need to respond and cut away something in a response to that deity. And when you are specifically talking about humans and God, the creator, that word we have given to what we call the deity of deities, you have to understand that inside of that is fertile things. Okay? Inside that word is new life. Inside that word is new health in every form, physically, mentally, soulishly, spiritually. Again, we have walked away from a spiritual base. So certain things, when you talk about it, you're way off because you ain't on the platform talking. You way out in the field somewhere trying to talk about something that's way off in the distance. How you going to be able to see exactly what it looks like? You got to get close. See, we did it. We mucked it up, y'all. See, again, when the Bible talks about all have sinned, all have sinned. This is to my Christian brothers and sisters. Take it for what you want. And when we say Christian brothers and sisters, we talk in every denomination under the Christian banner. Let's stop playing the hoax here, man. This and Roman Catholic, take the Rome off it. Rome ain't got nothing to do with Catholicism is. Catholicism is wherever Catholicism is. So you could have Greek Catholicism. Come on now. African Catholicism. It's a belief. Stop the hoax. This is why they could pass it all over the place. The problem was in denying other people what they believed, calling it pagan, when in reality, many of the things that they were doing was biblical. It was their response to God. And we came in trying to, used by evilly driven people and governments, or people who made governments, going into these lands like Africa and King Leopold. Belgium is just as complicit in this mess as anyone else over in Europe. Spreading lies to bind people. How many different times we got to read this in history to know there's an impropriety in the church? It's got to be said, y'all. It's got to be said, and it's got to be dealt with. Or else you just keep getting what you're getting. That's how the game works, man. That's how we can keep tiptoeing around it and doing. This is sacrifice. That's what Easter is dealing. What part of you are you gonna sacrifice and put on the line to help bring new life? Especially when it comes to how we living down here. Everybody ought to be taught how to have their own business, but you would destroy that which you see today if you had more small business owners. Because big business would be having a problem, yo. Your Walmarts and Targets would be having a problem. You start seeing small warehouses pop up everywhere. And that is when you would start seeing that which has formed this nation, that sick, evil, twisted, cutthroat mess that says you won't steal from me, yet you're stealing. Because you are shutting down somebody else from having their own. And then people wrap that up in silly ideas. I'm talking about these defenses in the mind. They wrap this stuff up in silly ideas like, oh, well, you got to break a couple eggs to make an omelet. Everything ain't going to be blah, 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 or roses, blah, blah, blah. KJ, come on. This ain't a perfect world. Again, I may have mentioned it on a past episode, but if I didn't, we're going to say it again. I ain't going to repeat the catchphrase. But hey, what happened in the last perfect world? What happened in Shangri-La? What happened in El Dorado? We're going to use the different terms that have been used across this planet. What happened the last time there was a perfect world? Humans mucked it up. Reread Genesis. That was the perfect world, y'all. And I know Christians, everybody gonna come with it. Oh, see, because the earth was look, KJ, come on, man, look at the first verse. The earth was without form and void, and there was darkness. There had to have been some, God couldn't have made the whole. Wait. So then you telling me this is the contradictory part why people don't mess with Christianity, and I understand, y'all, because you shouldn't be dealing in something that is this backwards. So now the thing has been twisted by the devil, right? Okay. The earth, this is verse 12 now, right? We 11 verses down, ain't even that far, guys. See, this is the problem. You ain't got to go far. We don't have to go read into Numbers chapter, blah, blah, blah. It's right here, guys. Come on. And the earth brought forth grass, and I have to keep going back to this because people got a problem with the stuff that you can smoke out this planet. the tobacco, the cannabis, I don't care what it is. Y'all got a problem, man. Hey, there is a difference between responsibility and what's wrong. Two differences. Anyway, there's a clear difference between using something with responsibility and doing it. Hey, and if you don't like doing it, that's fine. That's fine. Same thing with drinking. Come right out all right, here we go. Same thing with beer, wine. Hello. That's okay. To each their own. See, you've been given the choice to choose. However, you're told to choose life. Choose the thing that helps promote. Hey, y'all, listen to the truth in these statements, man. Choose the thing that helps promote. That's what it means by choose life. Choose the thing, because again, the Bible talks about stuff you do should profit you. And that's just 2 verses I'm using. We can go further in this whole thought. Choose life so that you and your seed, those who come after you, may live. And again, seed, when you're talking about planting seed, it's not only just your kids, but affecting everything around you that you plant into. The words you say are seeds, y'all. Anyway, brought forth grass and herb yielding seed, talking about seed, after its kind. Again, this his message there. Its kind. The tree yielding fruit, whose seed, when we start calling plants his, y'all want to get on the transgender thing. What are we doing? Anyway. After its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose, I know all this, again, you hear enough arguments and you've been through enough debates to understand where people gonna come from. And this is why I say some people are just okay with where they're at. They're all right with this. I am not. I'm not all right with this ambiguous life the way it's been made, where few are prospering and the rest are struggling. Nope, that's not how God made that. Anyway, the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Again, its kind, not his kind. God saw it was good. So we talking about in the planet with all this deception, all this mess going on. God made the plants, all the plants, y'all. Let's stop the hoax. All the plants, God said it was good. Now, 2 more verses just come on down, talking about this time thing. We got to keep messing with time, right? Because, how else are we going to be able to do this thing? Nope, we need to come back to a thing that we have messed with it too far. And it's time to correct it. There's certain things that we don't talk about. Time to stop, y'all. It's time to start bringing some significance to some things. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs seasons, days, and years. The planet is your clock. So how you messing with the clock every spring and fall? Maybe, just maybe, people need to get back in tune with this planet a little bit better. This is what I'm talking about. The checks and balances need checked and balanced, y'all. Don't come to me talking a lot, and again, to each person their own, guys. But we just not understanding a thing. Let's continue. Let's finish off this video, and then we will. I'm already a certain amount of time in, and we're just gonna keep going with it. Here we go.
It's not a name. Al means the, La means God. It's the same word in the language of Jesus Christ. But during 9/11, all you heard people saying in New York City was F these Muslims and F their... Muslims and Christians and Jews are brothers, they're cousins. The fact that they fight each other is a disgrace. That's called ignorance. Where they would realize they have much more in common than they don't, and that they're being perpetrated against each other.
When are we gonna get it? Real quick, because there's not a lot to say when you speak on Easter. Okay, we get the fertility thing. You want to get into the human sacrifice part. That's a whole. See, again, the fertility thing got some real there. See, again, folks don't put the proper respect on the stones God has left down here that we call crystals. Just another word. Same idea. In the amethyst and in the onyx. You know, the places that they're going in Africa, killing people for to take their stuff. See, maybe I didn't say it, but we'll say, again, you want the shine in the diamond. You don't care about the diamond. And in this case, you don't care about the people in Africa. You just want the stuff there. What are we doing, y'all? Can we stop doing the same silly... See, hey, humans are showing their own thing here. Time to stop, y'all. Time to stop. Here's another one of these. Just talking about misnomers. When you're eating something. This is just one of these notes I wrote down. When you're eating something, again, I think that pause and go back for a second. The mixing of the cultures does two things if people are paying attention to the game. Number one, you automatically increase your profit. You've got multiple nations with multiple thought processes, all feeding into each other, feeding profit. Unfortunately, because people, and primarily, we understand the infighting, but we're talking the external now. Because again, it's very easy to talk about one thing. And again, black brothers and sisters, the brothers specifically, and I've heard a lot of this lately, they keep watching this. And again, it's one of these things you get tired of watching. Put the guns down. Please put the guns down. Can we put the guns down? Can we protect our families from the mess going on? I saw a thing on Instagram. This brother gets held up. Two other brothers just come in, they hold him up, and they kidnapping him, they taking him. Got the guns right to his face, taking him. This is the mess we open. See, again, go all the way back. And I'm not saying that inside African tribes they weren't doing garbage. I get that. Every place treats that. But we're talking about the things that spur on this mess. Europe comes over with muskets, and instead of using them to defend themselves and teach other people how to defend themselves, or just leaving it to themselves and letting everybody else go on about their business, no, you got to bring them muskets over into Europe and do all this mess. And now them same guns are hurting you. What are we doing? You worried about nuclear warfare, and yet nobody talked to Oppenheimer and told this dude, we ain't playing around with it and having little debates about it and none of that. Y'all could have took care of Japan without doing that mess. But no, we got to go blow up things. Now y'all all worried about China with nuclear armed weapons and stuff. Oh well. This is what you get. So now all of us have to now be in fear because governments don't know how to treat, or refuse, I should say, to treat people right. And that's not talking about the people of the government. Y'all, see, again, people keep going back to this violent thing. We're talking about bringing peace, doing it rightly. having laws and legalities in place. Unfortunately, because those don't want to come off it, it will get violent, y'all. This is where the defense part of this is just a topic. This is just a topic of defense and peace. I'm sorry. Or I should say violence, defense, and peace. Because that's kind of how you get to that. So that's, if you want to break it down to a mathematical equation, that's kind of what it is, unfortunately. It's violence, defense, and peace, and people keep messing around with who is doing the defending, like they call the natives of these lands savages, when in reality the savages were the Europeans coming over here. Spain, France, England, and whoever else wanted to join the party. Because at the end of the day, enough's not enough. But guess what? Enough is enough. That's how you have to get on the inside, y'all, for this thing to change. Enough's enough, man. How far do we keep going? How many more kids have to make a mock slavery auction on Snapchat before we get that, hey, maybe this shouldn't be? Again, you got Fat Tuesday, Lent, and Easter, okay? Different words for all this other stuff. For the most part, Fat Tuesday. Mardi Gras. Again, people want to get, it's a party. It's a party. Matter of fact, you know what? Sacrificing something, there is a party to that. And you got to prepare yourself for that, which is the party. So before people get on Mardi Gras, and again, do things responsibly, but that don't mean you can't do things. See, this is where we keep missing it. Now, again, because this world is sick, ladies and gentlemen, specifically the ladies, if you think flashing them boobies, we're going to be blunt, okay? You got a lot of sick people out here. Do you want to be careful what you're doing? Sure. Do you want to be free? Sure. You got to be careful, which means you probably better roll with some folks. We're just saying what life is, what it always been. Too many kidnappings of young innocent girls and stuff. Talking about that brother who got hit up there. It might have been San Antonio, Texas, something like that I saw on Instagram. You know who saved the day? The woman with the shotgun. Scared them brothers right off. She saved her man. Now here's the next thing that comes out. Oh, that man's so weak, and he bro. See, come off that. We're talking about sexism now. Another one of those things that's so been used to destroy. Because again, you're talking about men and women, yo. We're here to help each other, right? That's what we talked about. Nope. We're just going to keep attacking each other. Same thing with the word racism. We supposed to be enhancing each other. But nope. We got to keep doing this stupid thing where it would make sense to hold down one of the people. Use the Bible, talking about the curse of Ham. Y'all stop it with that mess. Ham's skin wasn't cursed by God. 2, it was cursed by Noah. 3, wasn't no curse then going to black folks. What are we doing? What are we doing? Just treat each other right, y'all. Hey, man, I don't even know how else to say it. Bosses with the employees, just start treating them right, y'all. Stop doing the garbage coming around all the time. Sacrifice of your pride. How about that? Sacrifice your pride. If you want to be a leader, this is Jesus talk. You got to serve first. This is what the Bible is telling you. People sit there. It's another thing to watch out for, folks. Everybody's got to be very wordy and have long, and yeah, I go long, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about people speak a whole lot of garbage here. They don't care about nobody. They don't care about nobody in which they're talking. Speak a whole lot of long words. You're bored sitting there listening to them. And it don't give you no life on the back end. It don't challenge your thinking at all. It's just some base old stuff they keep saying. Y'all watch out for people like that. The Bible talks about how folks, for pretense, which just means the way kids say it today is they capping. They full of cap. They cap. Okay? Long prayers. Big words. All that garbage. Y'all watch out for people like that. Because they're using people. That's what that verse is talking about. Another one of these misnomers here is talking about when eating or doing something not good for someone, well, something's going to kill me anyway. Something's going to kill you anyway. Nope. Yeah, it's appointed once for a person to die, and then this is the way the Bible says it. For once for a person to die, and then after the judgment. But guess what? You're still told, talking about biblical context now, you're still told to do things that give you profit. Now you telling me you stuffing your face full of fried chicken, especially when we talk about KFC fried chicken, which of course is not actually shown that a black woman's recipe is what made the special recipe of the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that Colonel Sanders stole it from her. And that part's not proven, of course, in history. Then again, your slaves had no rights to anything, barely any rights to anything. So when you talk about ignorance and illiteracy, guess which word shows up in illiteracy? Ignorant. Guess what the word ignorant means? We're gonna leave this one here for y'all. Guess what the word ignorant means, man? Lack of wisdom or knowledge. Now, guess what happens when in illiteracy? In illiteracy, you have a lack. You don't understand. You're uneducated, unable to write. You lack the knowledge of how to do these things. Funny how these two words correlate, isn't it? Anyway, understand, y'all. Again, you're down here to dress and keep a thing. This is your purpose. This is human purpose. Lord, I hope some folks get it. Human purpose to dress and keep the planet. No, the springtime is good time, y'all. Hey, that's birth time. Come on now. I know we celebrate January 1st in the new year. But new life ain't started yet till March. I'm just saying. I am just saying, okay? Again, humans messing with time. But the planet itself is already a clock. It's already moving. We got to catch up to the time. we got to catch up to Earth time, man. Not the other way around. Not the other way around. You know, we understand death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. The resurrection part, again, life. Literally as the planet is, so happen with all of that. We're talking life coming from death. And death with a purpose. Because you're dying for other people who need help. You want to improve your marriage, add the sacrifice in there. Talking about relationships. And we'll end on this, because this is just about this. This is where all of this comes in. We started talking about training up a child and all this kind of thing. Intercultural marriage being wrong. Listen, it doesn't matter which culture you marry into. Sacrifice is still necessary. There's gonna be some stuff you want to do, you don't want to do. we can go down the line on all of it. Understand, when you excel in sacrifice, you don't have a problem. Again, I hadn't gotten into this yet, but there's a very dominant and submissive idea for those who have an issue with BDSM, which again, one of the two letters in that is D and S, dominant and submissive. People have a problem being dominant, and people have a problem being submissive. This is talking about sex now. If you're going to hold on to a thing, you're going to lose it. And this is why, and most of us, again, we going on all marriages. Everybody want to have a different experience with their marriage or relationship. Okay, that's fine. All right. Again, I am one here. Never mind. I won't even say it. I won't even say it because too many Christians trip on it, and that's not what we're here for. However, sacrifice is necessary, whether you're talking marriage or your dating relationship. Or friendship. Because again, being friends will help you through the parts when all the rest of that's not there. When you can talk to each other. That thing will get you out of infidelity, y'all. If we can just be honest. When you can be friends, I understand everybody got hard nose and hard passes. We're talking about adultery and infidelity. When you're doing something behind somebody's back and you get caught. That's what we're talking about now. Okay? When you're friends with a person, you can talk that thing through. You can save your marriage. But it takes sacrifice. See, it takes meekness. You got to put yourself in a certain place. Truth is, many times we are not paying attention to that which is man and that which is woman because of sexism. I'm telling you how this thing has affected a lot of mess. You don't recognize your own masculine and feminine in you, and you don't recognize the masculine and feminine in her. I'm sorry, y'all. We gonna say some earth-shattering stuff today. Earth-shattering, because I'm done. I'm done watching it. People need to start speaking the thing. Everybody got a place. Everybody got purpose. Everybody got one. You recognizing the parts of your purpose is a whole other topic, but every human has been put here to do what? Dress and keep the planet. You already got your purpose. It's time you live in it. And you got to break free of this garbage here that's on this planet in order to do it. And that's where we're going to end there, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you very much for hopping down the road with me today on this Easter edition of A Different View. Again, I can say it very boldly. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to y'all. May you enjoy all of that which is new life springing up in your lives as we enjoy this life together. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, look to find the beauty in a different view.